name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today is going to be part 2 of the SEGA Mega Drive games. Can we fix up the last 3 games? So let's jump right into it and see what's going on. I already undone the game bit screws in the first part. Okay, so this is a game that has 6 games on it, and here we have 2. I keep calling them EPROMs. I think EPROM is erasable. Programmable read-only memory. That sounds right to me. But these are not erasable, are they? These would just be programs and you can't erase them. So I think these are just called PROMs. Right, well, looking at it straight away, again, it looks like possibly a similar, well, not as bad, but I can definitely see little bits of corrosion just along the top of some of them. So maybe again it might be just a continuity issue between here and the pins. So what I'm going to do is, rather than, you've seen it all in the part 1, rather than going through it all again one by one, let's just let me just show you quickly what I'm doing, and then I'm just going to go through it. So basically, if I was to touch this one here, so you can see that a lot of the pins on this side don't actually go anywhere, but can you see the ones with the traces? So these don't do anything, but these do, these 2 do, and these 4 here and that one there. So really all I have to do is, for example, touch this one here and then go across and see. So now I know it's coming up there. If I was to touch this one here, nothing there, nothing there, nothing, nothing, but something here. So I can just quickly go across it that way. So I'm just going to quickly fast forward through that and see if I find anything. Well, on this side, every one of them does something, so it's definitely not a problem with the tracks on this side. And this video today is sponsored by no other than the My Mate Vince Massive, and this month that consists of Saturnine Cinema, Robert Hughes, Operational 117, KitDigital.com, Cassie Clark, Kip Hakes, and Max Rokotansky. So a massive thanks to all of them, and also all the other Patreons that support these Trying to Fix videos. Right, I found my first problem. It's this one here. So as you can hear, it's not coming up anywhere on the chips and on this NAND thing at the side here. So from memory, this is the chip here. This one here is what tells the Mega Drive to either read from this one or this one here. Alright, so we've definitely got a problem here, and it does look like there is a little bit of a break. If you look really closely, just above that one there, it does look a little bit corroded, doesn't it? It looks like there's a line across it. So we're going to have to do a bit of work on there, which is good. So that might mean that this is another savable game. Yet again, we've got nothing here either. So that's 2 now. 3, nothing on this one. Nothing on this one here. Okay, so we've definitely got 4 or 5 there. Just on the first one here, and you can see now that I now have continuity up to here. So now the next one we're going to do is this one here. So you can see there's nothing going on there at all. So what we're going to do is little fiberglass pen. I've got my gloves on because this stuff, these little fibres can get into your skin quite easily. And I'm just scraping back here just to get back to copper. Right, and now it makes it much easier to see, and you can see that there's a little line going across there. So if we get our meter, you will see that we will have continuity between here and here, yeah, but yet not here. So there's our little break just here. So again, just like this one here, that's going to be a real nice easy one to solder up. So I'll just show you that one, then I can do all the others off camera. I've got the iron only set to 220 degrees so I can bridge the gap. There we go, so that's now bridged, so if you have a listen, now when we go between here and here, we will have continuity. So let me do the others and then we'll see if this game's working. Okay, so you can see the tiny blobs of solder there now, and you can hear that that one's making. This one was making, but it looked like it was about to break. This one's now making. And this one up here is now making as well. So they should all be doing something. So let's put it back in here. Let's see if we have any success, and then again I can cover up these with the UV mask, the green UV mask. Let's give it a go. Okay, here we go. Now again you can see it's failed where it meets the plastic bit here. So exactly where, you see where this line goes across here, because we have this line here. So that's where it's failed across there. And I think it's from the cartridge rubbing against the circuit board rubbing against the cartridge slot in here. And it's just wobbling, and I suppose over the years, look, there's always going to be a little bit of play, and over the years that's exactly where it's wearing through. Bit of a design fault really. Right, let's plug it in. But saying that, it's lasted for many years, hasn't it? Looking promising. There we go, excellent. Let's see if it's going to go further. Fantastic. Right, so we've got World Cup Italia, Columns, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Shinobi, it's a great arcade game, and Super Hang On. Right, okay. Just make sure it is loading up. Don't know how to kill this one. Well, there we go. So far I've done 3 out of 3, so the Mega Drive gods really are looking down on me with favour today. So let's move on to the 4th one, and let's see if we can be as lucky on that one. And just like part 1, I'm going to be using some UV solder mask just to cover up these little bits down here. And now I need to put the UV light on them to make them set. So I'll do that elsewhere, and then I can move on to the next one. Right, so the next one is Flicky, which I've never played. So having a quick look here. Again, I can see a bit of marking here from these ones here. I suppose what you could do to protect them if you were worried about your Mega Drive or Genesis cartridges, I suppose you could put Captain tape around the edge here. And then when it wears, it's going to be wearing on the tape rather than wearing on the circuit board. And then, for example, if you play it lots after a few more years, you could just peel off the Captain tape and do it again, you know, just a bit of maintenance on it. So it looks like it's a very common problem. Right, I can see a few ones that don't look great down here, but at the same time, they don't look bad. The marks this time seem to be a little bit higher. So I'm just going to check for continuity. Right, well, every one of them are testing okay. which is bad news because it means then that it must be the actual chip itself. So what I'm going to do is, before I give up completely, I'm going to do the technique that I was told by Rodrigo Lamas back when I did the Bonkers revisit. I think he's from Brazil, or it's a technique that's used in Brazil. And yeah, basically it's where you put your meter into diode mode and you read the different pins, and it worked on the Bonkers game. So what you need to do is you need to go to the ground. Let me just find out which is the ground, 1 second. Well, I suppose I can just use the ground here. It doesn't make a difference, does it? Right, so if I go to here, which is going to be the ground, so red lead to ground, and then I'm going to go across each pin. And I think from memory it should be like 0.6 or something. Okay. So you can see that those two are roughly the same. So in this one here it's 0.52, 0.53. So I'm just going to go across them all and see if any of them come up different. Again, that's still a reading, that's not too dissimilar. Around the middle, the reading is going to be completely different because you're just going across the ground itself. There you go, so that's the ground one there, yeah? What I'm looking for is one that's completely different. I think it's one that's like open. Right, so they all look fine, so this is not looking good. I don't have to use that ground. For example, I can use the ground here, and that would also give me the same reading. Yeah. Just going to go back to here because it's easier for me. Right, that one's open there. Right, okay, so under the J and the A, that one's open. Excellent. That's going to be grounds. Excellent, well there's only one here which looks different than the rest. Can you see that's completely open? That's not doing anything there whatsoever. So let's try to put, actually, should I, I was going to say, should I compare it to a different one? Should I compare it to a different one? Right, this is the World Cup Italia 91 that I haven't done yet. But let's just see the size of this chip here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Excellent. So they're the same size chip. I mean, maybe this might have the same fault, but it'd be unlikely, especially when I can see, again, sort of corrosion and bashed up around here. Right, so what pin were we on? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 from that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this one here. So let's put the red lead to ground. And there you go, I'm getting a reading. So I'm getting a reading on that chip, yet I'm not getting a reading on this chip. So that says to me that that might well be the fault. So what can we do about that? Well, you can put a 1 kilo ohm resistor in it, and it worked on the Bonkers game that I did. This game here. So let's do exactly the same, and let's see if it will make any difference or not. I'm going to do the soldering on this side here. So I've got a 1k ohm resistor. That's the colour code there. Brown, black, red and gold. So we're going to be going, it's going to be this side here, isn't it? So this is the ground, and yeah, nothing there. So we've got something that side, something that side. Imagine if this worked. And that side there, nothing. Right, so let's just put the resistor from there to there and see if it does anything. Okay, so you can see it there now. So now let's go back to diode test. .68. Yeah, it's giving me a completely different reading. I'm just going to check the bonkers game just to make sure that that is what I put in there before. Let's check the colour code. Brown, black, red, gold. Yeah, I'm just going to check this one, see if that's giving me a similar reading. Yeah, fair play. And that's different than all the others. See, on this one it was a different pin. Maybe it only works, you know, on these top pins, I don't know. But look, that's what these videos are all about. It's about a bit of experimentation and see if it can be fixed. Let's give it a go. Here we go. So if this works, I think this would be the best fix out of all of them. Come on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, look at that. Now that is, how quick was that? One resistor in place and that's working. How many of these have been thrown away worldwide throughout the years because of one of the internal parts of that chip fading? And by putting in that resistor, you see it pulls it up or pulls it down, whatever it does. And then it starts working. What a fix. 4 out of 4, can you believe that? I am Mr. Mega Drive today. That is unbelievable. I thought maybe we could get this one working. I didn't think we'd be able to get the other 4 working. And so far, we've got this one and 3 of them working. Let's see if we can get the full house and get 5 out of 5. Now, I've never played this game. Okay, so I'm a bird collecting birds. And I can shoot. And I can die. Oops. What happens if I go straight to the exit? Oh, there you go. Let me just save this one and call it a day. There we go. So let's turn it off and back on again just to make sure that that wasn't a fluke. And what an easy test to do as well, just diode test and look for the pins that are different. That was the perfect comment to have on a video, because I've never heard of that before, and it might be a well-known thing in Brazil, but maybe it hasn't translated over to, for example, the UK or America. And then you see by Rodrigo Lamas doing that, he's now rescued this one and also Bonkers, and also how many other people have watched my video and then tried it, and it's working, which is just fantastic. So there we go. Right, so that's 4 out of 4. Let's see if we can get 5 out of 5. So that's flicky, put back together. Love that one. So now what I'm going to do is, this is the Mega Drive one, I'm just going to put Captain tape around these bits because I've put the solder mask on it and it's gone hard. So I can just put a little layer of Captain tape just over those bits there. And that will just help with the wear. Also, you could just sand that back a little bit, couldn't you? Or just get a blade and just pretend this is a blade and just scrape it along that way, and that would make it shave it down a little bit. Right, last but not least, World Cup Italia 90. Funny enough, that game is actually on here. So we already have it. Well, I can see quite a bit of corrosion around these pins here. I think it's the same problem again. I think it's just going to be trace damage. So I'll go through the same process again after using a multimeter in continuity mode, going across every single pin, and yes, on this one there's loads of them that are faulty. So all I'm doing is scraping back again with the fiberglass pen and then just running little solder bridges. It's gone in the same place. This must be such a common area for these cartridges to fail. So when you see the video again now, it will be back together with the soldering done. Alright, so that one's okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. And that one's okay. So now let's see if this is going to work. Here we go. What are you thinking? I'm thinking yes. That's how much confidence I've got now, that I'm thinking yes, I think it is going to work. Come on, 5 out of 5. Oh. No, you see, I got too cocky there, didn't I? Got too cocky. Right, well, did I check for continuity in every single pin? Maybe I didn't. I'm not going to move the camera, I'm just going to leave it where it is. I'm just going to double check to make sure I have got continuity, because I didn't, I don't think I actually checked this side here. So maybe 1 or 2 of these have not actually made. Did I check? You know, I can't even remember if I checked or not. But I'm going to go through them all, because maybe there's one down here that I missed. Because there's that much damage on these traces, then I don't think, again, it's going to be a problem with the chip and the traces. I'm fairly confident we can get this one working. Well, that was my fault. I was an eager Eddie and I didn't check them all. And this little one here didn't have any continuity, this one here. So scraped it back, put a bit of solder on. Now let's see if it's going to work. Now I am hopeful. I still have to put solder mask on and put Captain tape around it. Let's see if it's working. That's more like it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. It's amazing how when you go through them you get less and less excited because you expect it to work. And I suppose if you were in the industry all the time and you only fixed Xboxes or PlayStations or Switches, then I presume the boredom would set in quite quick. The nice thing about doing different items, which obviously you can't do for a living, you need to specialise in something, but the nice thing about doing different items is that you always get that buzz of fixing something. Well, there we go. You can see that that appears to be working. Turn it off and back on again. Yeah, so there we go. So what a lovely bunch of games there. So out of 5 of them, believe it or not, we managed to fix 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was a right result, because I thought at the beginning we might be lucky to only get 1, which was the Micro Machines. But all these other 4 were actually fixable. And now I think, obviously loads of games are going to have a faulty chip, that goes without saying. But a lot of games may be fixable with that little resistor trick. Now, I did Earthworm Jim quite a few months back, and that wasn't fixable. You know, that needed a new chip, which you can do, but the problem is a lot of the games are probably, the value of them are not going to be worth putting your time into it. You can just buy a working one for cheaper. Then obviously if you're spending an hour programming up a chip and soldering it in and taking the old one out, etc. But you can see on this one here, I know I've been particularly lucky, but the only thing I spent was time and 1 resistor. So what are we talking? Less than 10p? And there's 5 working games out of it, which for the majority of people would be landfill. So yeah, that is it for this video. Massive thumbs up to Mike for sending them out to me. And again, I think this is a kind of perfect trying to fix video that shows that you can fix stuff yourself with not a lot of knowledge. So if you've got Mega Drive games at home that are faulty, get yourself a multimeter that don't cost much money. You don't have to get a really expensive one, just get one that does continuity, you know, that little beep test. And then, and diode test would obviously help to test out the chips. And you can see that you can do this yourself very, very easily. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I thoroughly did. Thanks for watching. Bye now.